eventually Spectre just blows everyone up. Exact same game. The supports here, Wyvern, Tiny, when Spectre presses ult, these two heroes, they do nothing. Your Blink initiation from Tiny completely removed. Your Wyvern's ability to save anyone, removed. So I'm a bit worried that Liquid, they have to perform so well early on to remove Spectre from the game, remove the jungle to get themselves in.
I feel like we're talking a lot about Liquid's draft because Vici Gaming's draft is so well-rounded. It's
Clean.
it's clean,
Yeah.
it's good. Tsunami, we've seen this work time and time again.
Of course, they got a little bit of everything. What more could you need? Team fight, initiation, vision. I'm going Vici.
All right, well, let's find out what's going to happen in the second game of this two-game series. We're finding out together with Cap and BSJ.
That's right. We are going to find out together, though. Liquid, they definitely going to step up their game from game one, because that was a bit of a thrashing and hopefully a different draft. I mean, we said they just looked uncomfortable looking at this lineup for Liquid. Do you feel like this is a little bit more in their wheelhouse, or is that just execution?
Yeah, Leshrac was Sumail's #1 go-to, but it was with an Oracle behind it, and that was the idea that Lesh is going to dump out all types of damage, and Oracle's going to keep him alive while he does it, and it allows it to do it with less defensive items, so he can go for the pure mana plus bots itemization, more greedy, accelerate his farm, but this time his save is a Wyvern, and as the panel pointed out, if you get Cold Embrace, which is meant to heal you up and prevent the physical damage, you're just alley-ooping that Ancient Apparition combo to just burst you.
Yeah, it's, I mean, Ancient Apparition has been one of the heroes of the tournament, and we started off with a wildcard series where it was just getting first picked, like every single game. So I'm just surprised to see Winter Wyvern in this situation with Ancient Apparition not being, like, banned or something. But Liquid gonna go for an early toss back here onto Old 11 to see if they can jack the Bounty Rune and potentially get the first blood. Old 11 managed to sidestep the split Earth. God rebuke back everybody. It was such well-played maneuvering from Old 11, but it wasn't good enough. Ultimately, he gives up the first blood to Mickey.
That was a zoning stun by Sumail. He made him run back into the team.
Smart.
Saw the lines. I'm just a bit concerned that there's a lot of farming that needs to be done on both teams, and I think that Vici will hit their timings sooner, and they can be active sooner. And even though Spectre is a long cooldown-based hero, they can do what they did last game, where you just consistently play away from him, and he gets to pick and choose the fights carefully. And they did such a good job of fight selection, and that's where I'm concerned for Liquid. Where what is their initiation? You know, you have the Axe Blink that's going to eventually come out, but we saw what happened last game when Sumail blinked in on Puck against the Spectre and the Mars. You know, you just get counter-initiated on it. Nobody even wants to follow you up because there's just so much stuff. There's going to be all the Willow spells. You're going to have just the chaos like we talked about. I don't know. I'm concerned for Liquid, but I doubted them second game against Beast Coast because they picked a very similar draft as they did game one. They ended up winning that one.
Okay. What adjustments do you feel like they made in the Beast Coast series from game one to game two?
They picked a more durable carry against like a heavily damage output based lineup. Like first game they went for the kill the damage based heroes. The second game they went for the out sustain the damage based heroes. And PA was the first hero they picked that lost, and then they ended up winning with a Bristle. I like PA this game, but I don't like PA against TA because TA, it's quite simple. TA is good against large burst or large damage per instance, small amount of instances, and that's exactly what PA does.
Yeah, no, she jumps on the Templar Assassin and, you know, throws in 4 hits and 2 of them are crits. You're gonna be like, okay, well that was no damage done. Congrats.
Yeah, exactly.
And Templar Assassin is kind of a natural MKB buyer at some point in time. It's also a Roche taker, which is something PA really likes to be able to have, seeing as she's sometimes a bit of a fragile carry.
I think the general map momentum will be in favor of Liquid, meaning if fights are not occurring, then they will be benefiting. And we saw a similar story last game, but the way that Vici was able to constantly force errors from basically forcing Liquid to break that farming formation, I'm hoping to see a little bit better discipline from Liquid in game 2.
Watch DY die to Koifa and Taiga. Nothing major there. Just like,
supports. They don't matter.
Yeah, they don't really matter too much. Occasionally, they just die in lane, and sometimes it's good for you because your mid laner is crying that he needs a refill on his bottle. So, you know, Insania. Gotta be careful of these brambles and make sure he also doesn't get speared in the process. That is one nice thing about Winter Wyvern. Able to fly and help dodge all of this stuff that's on the ground.
I think both teams are chilling. A lot of level-based damage coming out from the mid laners. A lot of farming that needs to be done on the side lanes, more so from the Axe. I'm really curious what route he decides to go on Koikfa, because in the past, where the Shard before it got nerfed, whenever you're dealing with ultra tanky heroes that you don't exactly feel good about calling, you see a lot of the Manta Shard.
Yeah.
Because I gave you that extra farming tool, so you didn't feel the need to fight.
Okay.
And then it also gave you the enough damage to actually bring these heroes down.
Wrap it around. Taiga pops the healing salve as he tanks the tower. Look at the cost, but he doesn't need it. They've got him. Dead right. Then is going to be Ori falling, and them also securing potentially. No, not both the water runes. DY was already moving over. So, but at least Sumail gets a refill.
Yeah, this matchup is really important to get kills one way or the other. If Leshrac hits 6 prior to TA, the only reason he doesn't go aggressive on her is fear of the trap slows consistently setting up for supports to rotate in. And you can just run at her and hit that and really snowball a small, like, half-level advantage into much more.
Well, DUI does make the good read that he did place a ward as he walked through this area. They also had a defensive ward, probably watched him straight up plant that. Quite fun, doing a little bit of pulling while Taiga is away. It was something to note for that bottom lane. They actually managed to stack the easy camp, and I always feel like something went wrong if you let the enemy support stack that without, like, you know, getting a kill on the core or something like that. Old 11 throws out the spear, should probably be fine here.
I definitely flame my supports if the small camp is stacked.
Yeah, I know you do. Avalanche going to burn through Refraction. Same goes with the myriad of damage that's coming from Sumail. Ori, he pops everything that he had there. The multiple magic wand charges as well as the fairy fire, but it wasn't good enough. 4-0, Team Liquid, they're definitely winning the lanes here pretty hard.
Yeah, if they continue the farm game, this will go in their favor. I'm confident about that. I'm just not 100% confident that they will remain disciplined.
We literally just watched the game. And I can't remember, did Liquid walk away winning the lanes the last time?
It was about equal.
Okay.
It was about even.
So maybe this is a slight difference that they've made here as well, a stronger focus on the lanes, or you think that's execution-based more so?
I think it's completely different in the draft because last game they picked the puck, third pick, and then allowed it to be a counter matchup for Sumail. And I understand what you mentioned, that they prioritized giving Sumail an earlier pick because they trusted him to do okay in lane. To me, that's an interesting approach, but man, this guy's gonna dumpster people, man.
Yeah.
Let Sumail run around the map killing everybody. This is exactly the hero and playstyle that we saw Sumail playing throughout the course of DPC, and he looked incredibly dominant. He will make the right plays on the map. He will put a pressure non-stop, and Leshrac's the perfect hero to do it. And even though he's losing out on the CS, because that's just the nature of the way he's playing the game, it feels pretty good, the spot he's in right now.
No, that's very interesting, because I thought the same way as you, and it was Insania who said like actually the other way around. But maybe that's just part of the adjustment process of bringing in somebody new and how you actually work, like what is the best way to make him look good in the draft. Is it, you know, being able to secure somebody else a better last pick, or is it or is this somebody that you really want to entrust everything into? And here in this game, it certainly gave Sumail a step up. I bet in some way he was saying, like, guys, I can beat Ori. Let me trash this guy.
It's funny because I see teams willingly pick Lesh into TA or TA into Lesh. And it just seems like a matchup that, hey, the mid laner, if he's got the confidence, let him have it.
How do you feel about the matchup? Like
very snowbally, one way or the other.
Entirely snowbally. Yeah. So whoever makes that one move that kind of breaks, maybe it's a support rotation. After all, Taiga's been rotating quite heavily, not just in the mid lane, but now to bottom. They're going to try and go for the last second toss. Mickey jumping in there. So even if the Shadow Realm did fade away, still Koikfa, I mean, okay, this is a big difference, right? Last time around, they had a Doom in the matchup against Spectre, and they almost lost the Doom to a Spectre plus, what was that matchup again? Snapfire?
Yeah, Snapfire against Willow Doom, I think. Or no, not Willow, Grim Doom? Yeah, Grim Doom.
Yeah, now they've got Axe, who is punishing the Spectre quite heavily. I mean, he's been solo half the time. He's now taken that top tower. They've given Koifa a much better matchup when it comes to laning phases as well.
Yeah, I think it's the attention that Taiga has drawn away from top that has allowed Koifa to play like this. And I think it's honestly a bit sloppy from Vici that has been heavily punished by Liquid because of the snowballing nature of this mid lane matchup. You can see how much emphasis Liquid put on it. I feel like most of the time in these games when the nature of these matchups is this, both teams have a bunch of resources being thrown at the lane. There was no counterplay at all coming out from Vici when Taiga made those rotations.
Yeah.
They got the D ward, but that's like about it. And he's going for the blink on Koifa. Understandable. I would almost be okay if he wanted to go like a straight hood as well. Kind of the Centaur approach extends the farming, extends the duration of the farming portion of the game.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what he does with it. They don't really have a playmaker that isn't him until the tiny blink, but that's obviously going to come out much later.
DY, yet another D ward. He's been doing really well in that regard, but still 0 hero kills for them. Smail playing in the enemy jungle is actually going to go for this kill on Apoyo-Yo, perhaps. The Battle Hunger slowing him down. Oh,
Nice
the
try.
Split Earth is just off the mark. Trying to surprise him there from the trees, but it doesn't land.
Still haven't taken the mid tower for Liquid despite having so many kills and enabled Leshrac.
Golden Brace is ready to go if Taiga needs it, but they don't need it due to the toss back that he did earlier.
Spectre's nice against Axe in game, just because she's the best counter-initiating carry in the entire game, and she also isn't an enticing call target. But in the lane, you see, she does not punish.
No.
The whole purpose of the last game, as you mentioned, was that the offlaner is supposed to flourish when you have an incredibly greedy carry like Spectre. We are 100% seeing Koifa
All the way back to the tier 1 tower. Nice toss once again from Taiga. Vici Gaming, they're going to try and help out Ori here by popping the Haunted, going for it, but Samael, he's pumping out the damage while he's stuck in place in the Cold Embrace. That is the value of this combination right here. As Ori does eventually die to Insania, Taiga's still trying to catch up to Poyo-Yo.
Koifa's just farming top right now and finishing that blink. So their playmaker is gearing up to make plays, and they're already getting the plays in their favor. This is looking rough for Vici. We were talking about all these things that potentially could go wrong for Liquid's draft. The Wyvern into the AA, yada, yada, yada. Doesn't matter if you win all 3 lanes.
No.
Or at least 2 of them and the other lane went fine. It's kind of like a 2.5 lane.
Yeah. I mean, everything is forgiven when it comes to a strong laning phase. I know, like, Blitz always likes to say that when it comes to, like, team dynamics, everything's forgiven if you're just winning. You know, like, all the little things that build up. As long as you're winning, everybody's happy. It's kind of similar with Dota drafts as well, right? You win all 3 lanes, any draft can work.
Maybe this can be the approach Liquid takes moving forward. They have 3 mid laners, basically.
Yeah.
All 3 of their players have played mid in these competitive games. So that means you have individual skill out the wazoo.
And Taiga looks best, I think, anyway, when he's playing either, you know, those late game carries type 4s or the roaming type 4s. And he has helped out Samael big time in this mid lane. He already has an early Yule Scepter, which he used to dodge the spear, but the Ice Blast will put him into his grave. It's the finishing blow. Finally, Vici Gaming get themselves on the board, 7-1.
What will they do with this is the question, Liquid. Cooldowns are aplenty for VG. So now it's time to use this Blink Dagger on the Axe. Number 1 net worth, not too uncommon when we see an Axe that has a good start.
I mean, from
He's just
here,
showing.
He may have gotten the Blink Dagger, but he could still go for the Manta. He's got so much net worth. We'll see another toss back. Old 11 just needs a little bit more damage to the Cooling Blade to finish him off, but he didn't quite hit it. Still, though, he's probably going to take out to the Battle Hunker, but it is going to be Taiga traded out here as PYW. He's able to do the damage with the Bedlam. Koifa's actually spotted by the Sentry here, but the Ice Blast doesn't quite nail him, and they do have this Winter's Curse. And it's going to set up Samael for a 2-man stun. They do manage to get out the Shadow Run, but a call follow-up from Koifa is going to make sure that both of these heroes are dead, and Samael now pushes on to the mid tower. You asked, what was Liquid going to do with these cooldowns up on Vici Gaming? And they just ran headlong into mid lane, took a great team fight, and now taking the mid tower.
Really cool thing to note if you're a spectator is that Mickey was participating in a lot of the early engagements, especially even just walking towards mid while Axe was completing his Blink Dagger. And now look at all the space he's getting, right? You're willing to sacrifice a bit of your own farm in order to enable the guys that are going to then allow you to just farm like this.
So you think it's like is it as simple as straightforward as like literally Koifa picks up his Blink Dagger and then Mickey is like, okay,
my time now.
I know. Yep, I'm just gonna hit creeps this entire time.
It is absolutely that simple. What these professional teams have gotten really good at in the last couple of years is understanding that only a certain amount of heroes can farm, and you just have to recognize that every moment in the game, which hero is higher priority. Yes, PA is the carry, but it is much more important that the Axe gets an earlier blink than she finishing her broadsword.
Yeah. Let's see this one again where they managed to win the initial part of that fight. The Ice Blast missing on Koifa was huge, but this winner's curse. Samael coming in. He's set up with the Dream. Even if Koifa isn't there, they probably still kill them both, but the call onto
looks better that way.
Yeah, it's a very nice and clean combo from them, and blink away from Koifa as they attempt to poke at him from this bottom lane. Vici Gaming, it's feeling a little claustrophobic, this map. They are kind of all stuck together, but still don't have the confidence to really push out and attack anything.
Yeah, this is exactly where Liquid is. This is their bread and butter.
I'm sorry, but look at them. They're literally all sitting on this secret shop. Like, I've never seen this before.
They just have an insane kill combo between the Lesh Tiny, and then they also have an Axe. There's really nowhere to go by yourself that you feel comfortable. You don't have these independent heroes. TA doesn't have a blink or anything like that. He's going for the Dragonlance Deso. If he gets Yules, he'll just die.
Yeah.
Or called, for that matter, if there's any follow-up. Arcane Rune for Sumail. It's going to make the map even harder to play once he gets those boots of travel, because every time you walk up to a creep wave, it could just be simply Insania sitting in the trees there with a Lush TPing in. You will go down. And it's so terrifying to play against like Bat Riders, Leshes, these magic, mixed damage, run around the map, boots of travels when you're behind like this.
How do you play the map when the enemy team does have such good pick-off where you can never feel like you go anywhere solo? Is hold up. They manage to get the call. That stops him from being in that Shadow Realm, and that's going to lure him into Samael. Culling Blade, chop off his head, and PYW falls.
I'm going to be dead serious that the way you play the map is a core like Mars who wants to make an aggressive move. You let your support walk in front of you and face tank anything that might be up that hill.
Okay.
That's exactly what you got to do, and you just got to hope sometimes they're not there and you find an opening, but Liquid slamming that one down.
Now they immediately smoked up as 4. Got the pick off. They're going to find another one. This time it's on DY. Not a huge target. Mars is going to come in with a 2-man Ice Blast. Old 11. Can he get off an arena? He cannot. Speaking of Old 11, what does he have item-wise? I haven't actually seen him in a while.
He has just phase hood.
Yeah, no Blink Dagger in sight.
And you're against PA, so even though you have the hood to deal with Lesh, it makes sense why he went it. That is not going to look very effective when this PA has a Deso and that Axe gets the Blade Mail.
No, certainly.
So he does go Blade Mail on Spectre. We were talking about how Echo Saber seems like the viable replacement, but when you're against the likes of Leshrac and PA, you need the armor, and you're also only really way to deter the Leshrac from running at you is to buy the Blade Mail.
Right, right.
It's just a core-to-core matchup thing. Well, the other games we've seen, the Echo Saber is against like DKs and such.
Regeneration.
So interesting note, when he does his Diabolic Edict, which is physical damage, right?
Yeah.
And he puts it onto the Blade Mail, but he's cold embraced. He won't take any of that physical damage back, right?
Absolutely.
It's returned as the same form, but everything else.
Yes. That is exactly how Blade Mail works.
Okay.
But I thought it was pure damage, Cap. No, that was indeed 4 years ago.
Yeah. Can't be living in the past. Dota is a game that moves fast and changes constantly. Koifa got to be spotted here. The Haunt. This is actually a great situation. Look at Old 11. He held onto the spear, knowing that Samael was going to pop the self-fuel and catches him out as he comes down to the ground. A Winter's Curse really well set up on the 3 cores, which means Mars is going to be torn apart by his 2 own allies. A 1-for-2 exchange so far, but much to the favor of Vici Gaming as they get their first small little win in this game.
That's exactly what I'm afraid of. Saw game 1. When the farm war was happening, Liquid seems to be coming out on top, but that is just superior fight choice by Vici. Liquid, this is the death lane, guys. It's the same spot.
You know, I said that phrase first because I was like, I'm sure Brian just itching to bring it up. But like, why do they keep on fighting in this bottom lane as Radiant side, also known as the dead lane?
They could potentially just force Roche, or like when I say force Roche, it's more about making the opponent feel threatened objectively, you know, like let's go, they have to fight us now. They don't have the blink on T or anything like that, but this is a fight, as you see, that is taken on Viici's terms. That's the nature of the dead lane, guys. That's why it's the dead lane. It's because you don't have any objectives for Liquid to play for here. They're not like set up here to take something, and this is exactly what they had to do. Thank you, Liquid. That you guys are nailing it.
Okay, bunch of cooldowns used in that last team fight, so Liquid, I'm not even sure if they disguised this at all.
No, they just
they probably just walked right in, no smoke necessary, and Taiga does actually catch Old 11, who gets a little bit too close. The Cold Feet is going to root Taiga, but it's going to kill Old 11.
That's what I want to see. Make them play on your battlefield. That's top. That's Roche. You got PA. You got a Deso. Yeah. They didn't have the Deso before, to be fair. So not trying to be like too harsh here.
Yeah, they didn't have a way to take Roche on just yet until they had that big damage and minus armor. But now, because of the Deso, because of the Aegis, because they've got a Leshrac, they've got ways to be able to take tier 2. We can get some real momentum going for them. They take the outpost, they get even better control of this top half of the map.
Tower is under attack.
Vici Gaming, what is their game plan during this period of time?
Just keep playing around your ultimate cooldowns.
Yeah.
Look for Liquid to be a little bit too greedy if they split themselves up. I'd say it's the Lesh that you can punish since the PA took Aegis. It's kind of an interesting spot decision-wise for Liquid to give the Aegis to PA. Because you're not going high ground yet. You're just farming. You're going to look to take the outer tier 2 towers. And so if that's your game plan with the Aegis, you have to decide which hero do we want farming the most aggressively.
Yes.
And you can see, based on the fact that they gave it to PA, that it's going to be PA. And if you look at the map distribution, you have Lesh farming near the mid lane safely, while PA's playing with his team, and the Lesh is ready to boots travel in. So this can help you guys get a little bit of insight on how they choose
Ice
who gets the Aegis.
is coming in, but Mickey has already jumped out with the Curse Crown on him. Vici Gaming, despite the fact that he did have that Aegis, they're going to take your advice. You know, if you've got the abilities up,
Style.
a straight-up spear that will put the fourth position of Liquid down. They are going to be trading out Old 11, though. It's the initiation counter from Liquid, but a huge terrorizer with the arena out, with the Curse Crown, an Ice Blast over the top, and they are wiping Liquid. That's going to be a 1 life coming out from Mickey. Let's see what he can do on his second life here. The Meld Strike coming out from Mickey is going to land, but PYW actually gets 2 shot there. He's going to be Curse Crown stunned, and look at Insanity. He's being chased by Poyo-Yo. He's making sure that he couldn't actually help Mickey at all. Vici Gaming wiped Team Liquid.
Just no respect coming out from Liquid here, man. You saw the Spectre, the guy that's supposed to be anywhere he wants on the map, sitting behind this tier 2 tower. That is screaming to you that they are going to fight you. And you have 5 minutes of this Aegis. You have 2 cores that are going to accelerate so fast. Leshrac, with all the space in the world on his own side of the map, is going to get like 900 GPM. Then you have a PA that's got Battle Fury Deso, and he's a recipe away from a BKB. And you still take the fight anyway. This is just so uncharacteristic of Liquid. I'm very perplexed, to say the least, on their fight selection. I think it honestly might just be that Vici is so good at selecting their fights that it's making Liquid look a bit worse at selecting theirs.
Yeah, Dota is a game of mistakes, but very often forced errors, right?
Yeah.
Where the enemy team does something specific to see if you will screw up. And in this case, Team Liquid certainly did. Taiga, would you say it's mostly on him? Was he out of position, or was it Liquid taking the fight after he dies?
I think it's being prepared to, like, it looked like Liquid was geared up to fight there. They were okay with fighting. That's the problem.
Well, Liquid are going to start a fight here onto Poyo-Yo. The Ice Blast instantly coming out, but a huge amount of damage. Cold Blade isn't quite there with the tail. He still managed to get this kill. Old 11 misses out on the spear onto Corpo. They still throw out the terrorize, but this time around they were ready. Self-Fuel is going to be able to protect him there. PYW Nice. Ace Root is going to be able to run down Insanity at least. Sumail is able to run away from Ori. Mickey's a little bit slower. Taiga's ready to go back in, though. They burn through the refraction. Sumail starts putting out the damage. Same with Mickey. They've almost got him dead. Ori is gone. Triple kill for Mickey, and now they look for a 4th kill and potentially the team wipe. Nope. Shadow Realm TP away will keep PYW alive. Liquid strike back.
Yeah, part of me wonders if these competitive teams purposely take fights like Liquid did top, where you're making the opponent use all their cooldowns, because it makes a lot more sense to me when I see them punish it here. That's just day and night difference. It's like you go on that Spectre there and he pushes Haunt with half HP. You're not going to finish him off because the rest of your team can't follow up properly, and suddenly that Mars Arena counter initiate is much more scary. But we're seeing here, there's a clear dynamic. When all the ultimates are available for Vici, despite a net worth differential going against them, or deficit, excuse me, they are stronger when it comes to the 5-on-5. But on the other hand, Liquid much better just purely based on items and low cooldowns. Kaya Sanj for Sumail, I like that a lot. He goes like a Eternal Shroud or Bloodstone, something like that. It'll really help him durability wise, and he'll only die to the Ice Blast.
Yeah, no, that is MKB build up for the Templar Assassin. So we can see he is going to try and adjust Mickey, who's 7-1-1 right now.
He has to.
Yeah. It's going to be the only one who can answer this PA potentially with fresh BKB picked up. Double damage being baited right now by Team Liquid.
He knows, too. He knows.
Yeah.
Some next level mind games.
The smoke is coming over though from Vici Gaming. They've got all their cooldowns up. And no, they decide to go into the triangle instead.
Yeah, claim your high ground. Don't walk into the opponents. Good play by both teams here.
Yeah, and they both made that read.
Liquid has to assume that nobody on Vici's bottom because nobody's taking the double damage rune, and then Vici has to assume based on information of the creep waves and what they don't see, that Liquid's on the bottom half.
Yeah.
Process of elimination.
Double damage in the bottle for Mickey. That was shown. Vici Gaming. I don't know if they want to take any team fight in the next 2 minutes. Toss back onto the perfect target too. The Spectre. The arena's going to go down. The Ice Blast's coming in soon. Yo trying to get away. They actually curse him up to keep him in place for a little while longer. Mickey's looking for the kill, but he actually popped the hog, jumped over. Oh, there goes the crit to wipe him out. Mickey hunted him down, stuck on top of him. Taiga, he's going to be left behind as the rest of Liquid are going to retreat now. Yule Scepter, look at Insania trying to give him a jump target, and he does manage to get him out of the bedlam. Nicely played there, but is he alive or not? Old 11 chasing after him, throwing the spear, but jumps after jumps will get Mickey out of there, up to the high ground. They reset, heal up, and are ready to go again.
That's quite the fortuitous crit with that double damage rune. Spectre was like 4th HP still. Just got one-shotted.
Yeah, and I don't think they're ready for a Liquid to come back like this. They're going to jump forward. Sumail with the Blink Dagger. Immediately going to be targeted. Koifa, he managed to fight the call. Onto the spear goes back, but it doesn't actually lock down Sumail. BKB popped by Ori. They're trying to do physical damage to be able to finish him off. He actually gets a little bit of bumper heal. They underestimated what Ori could do with just a sliver of HP and a full BKB with a refraction. Double kill for Ori. He turns around and kills the 2 cores of Liquid.
Yeah, it appears there's a reason why they weren't ready for Liquid to go in. They're like, what the hell are these guys doing? They just killed them all anyway. That was... I can understand what Liquid was going for there. That looked pretty juicy. You and I saw it. Vici didn't seem prepared for that to occur, but clearly they know something we don't. The TA is incredibly scary now for the PA because you are not tanky if you're getting hit every attack.
They know he's here. Old 11. Oh, dagger bash? Are you kidding me? Mickey, he doesn't have to pop his BKB because he turns around and bashes the Mars, preventing a Yule Spear combo.
Yeah, he's only got 16 armor on Phantom Assassin, so with the Deso plus Meld Strike, you're sitting at 2 armor, and the MKB is effectively hitting you every single time, so you are super squish. He's going for the Satanic on Mickey. I can understand why. You need to be able to man fight against just the dispersion from Spectre. You're going to take a lot of damage over time from that. But you're also dealing with an Ancient Apparition, which prevents the heal. And it doesn't provide you any survivability against the TA. And the Satanic won't do anything if you're hitting the TA, who has refraction charges, and also the Mars with the Bulwark. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. It could go both ways.
Now, you said effectively the MKB. I know you're a man of math, so I'm going to put you on the spot here. What does it actually come out to? This because they changed MKB recently.
Yeah, it's 80%.
80%. So what does that actually come out to against the new PA?
Assuming PA, let's see what talent he took at level 20. He took the 35% evasion talent, so that means he has 80% evasion, which means that if you hit 80% of those, you effectively have 16% evasion.
Okay. So, pretty low chance to be able to dodge any of those hits from the TA, but it can happen every once in a while. Old 11 toss rock of position. Once again, this arena is putting everybody to shame as they get terrorized and just headbutt themselves into the brick wall over and over again. Taiga will take out from the ice. They do have buybacks, though, coming in. They're going to try and buy back. Liquid are going to look for the re-engage here. Smale looks to be able to chase down Old 11 first, but Yule Scepter going out, trying to dodge the dagger. He's quite low. Old 11's thinking about jumping after him, I think. As you can see him posturing. Instead, he's going to go in and try and help out Ori. Ori pops a refraction, turns around, he just nails Mickey. They underestimate him for a second time. And Liquid, it's going to cost them potentially everything here as they're all going to fall trying to kill a Templar Assassin who will not die. Samale, a second chance now to re-engage and toss back into him with the Yules. The AoE damage he managed to get him. Blinks over, finds Yo. He's going to chase him down next, but the Leshrac comes out and finishes him off. He's dead. Buybacks available. Taiga looking to be able to finish off Ori, but he doesn't have any damage left. He's stunned up, and shot after shot raining in from this Templar Assassin, just murdering heroes.
You saw there, PA blinked in and died in 2 seconds to the TA alone.
Yeah.
It's just... It's part of why I was apprehensive to the PA pick. It is not a good core-to-core matchup against the TA. And yes, you're banking on the magic damage from the Leshrac to remove, as well as the Tiny, to remove those refraction charges. But he's got the BKB. Yeah. You're the only threat to him when he's BKB'd, and Ori's doing a really good job of being incredibly patient to popping that. And the second that PA goes in, he just uses it. Doesn't care about anyone else in the fight. And yes, you could call him theoretically, but Koifa is getting controlled by the supports, as well as the Mars.
Aegis Cheese, he's not actually going to grab the shard for himself there. Looks like maybe they're going to save it for somebody else.
I think they wanted to give it to Willow, and then he realized Willow already had one.
Yeah, okay, so now he's going to pop it for himself.
You okay there, buddy?
Yeah, just almost fell over in my chair because it's such an exciting game. 23-22, 8,000 net worth lead for Vici Gaming. They have already taken game one. If they can go ahead in 2-0 against Team Liquid, that's going to put them in a strong spot because all of these teams, they're fighting to stay ahead of elimination, yes, but the better teams in this group, they're fighting to go into the upper bracket from the very start, be one of the 2 teams to play up against the teams who are already sitting there in the upper bracket, those teams who placed first in their DPC regional groups.
I don't know what the way back in the game for Liquid is. I'm a bit surprised that Mickey has not gone for an Ag shard of his own. I think that's something he probably wants to consider. Even disabling the side blades from TA can be really nice.
Sure.
For preventing him from sniping you from range, as we're seeing TA basically being a sniper nowadays. But also, obviously, the dispersion from the Spectre. It's a pretty cheap way to have a built-in break.
Yeah.
And at this point, you can't, I don't think you can itemize for yourself, especially if that item doesn't address the TA, because you're just going to die to her anyway.
Smoke over into the triangle. They're going to be able to find Koifa, who's sitting on top of the Templar Assassin, trapped. They're going to get Insania as well. Looks like they're both very likely going to die here. Insania not quite getting the side blade hits. He also got the shard on Winter Wyvern. I didn't think people got that item. It means a Splinter Blast after Cold Embrace finishes. It does a Splinter Blast. I think it's because of the cooldown, actually. I forgot it did that. 5-second cooldown reduction.
That's a pretty decent shard.
Is under attack.
I think he's realizing that once he pops the Cold Embrace, the TA immediately focuses someone else, so he needs to make that window of punishment that much harder to capitalize on.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Speaking of punishment, Vici Gaming killing 2 heroes. Take mid-tier 2, but not quite looking at high ground just yet.
He's got the refraction charges on TA.
Yeah.
Once he BKBs, he's invincible.
Yeah, he really is. So, that means that Team Liquid, they do have options to play around that BKB, right? A good Winter's Curse that catches other heroes will last most of the duration of the BKB. Or they straight up start on him and chain stun him down. Look at this position. Rolled 11. They're going to pop the trap. That silences up Mickey. They actually do manage to get the spear before the BKB. Not enough heroes are here just yet. The Ice Blast coming in soon, though. And a Melt Strike. Oh, the Split Earth.
He doesn't want to use
Old
it.
11 there a little bit longer. Mickey desperately wants to get out of here without having to pop anything. Another Phantom Strike, and he's going to be good. Taiga turns around. Avalanches. Old 11 is desperate to be able to... Misses out on Split Earth. He's got to be careful, though. Cold Feet's coming in soon. What a nice combo for Taiga, though. An Avalanche Split Earth into 3. They're chasing them up. Winner's Curse going out onto the Templar Assassin. Is that going to be enough? The Split Earth stuns are coming out as well. Toss them in the air, and there goes the first life. But the Templar Assassin will have BKB when it comes back up. Koifa's going to look for the call. Manage to get it immediately. Mickey's going to jump in. They're open for the crits. They're open for the to be able to burst him down. Mickey can't quite do it. The Refraction's going to keep him alive. They turn around. Sounds up Taiga, but again, the Cold Embrace keeps on sparing these heroes. Yo, popping it on. He actually goes in and kills Mickey. He managed to get him with the help of Ori as he getting side blade damage. And Koifa turns around and just gets blasted by the Templar Assassin as well. Liquid now losing the most 2 important cores they've got. Starts sliding away back to their base, but it doesn't matter. They were so close, Brian.
I actually thought Liquid was going to win that based on the 3-man Avalanche combo with the Lesh stun and the call, and then the Ag Shard from the Lesh continuously stunning. And somehow the TA just, if he even just has a bit of breathing room to start dishing out the damage, you're feeling it. Like Mickey, he's not the best defense is a good offense because Mickey isn't hitting anybody. He's so scared of this TA.
No, he certainly is. As okay, so you happen to see what happened to Mickey there?
I did not see what happened.
Did he hit the Spectre and Dispersion, like, killed him, or did he get hit by his side blades?
It was not a side blade. It was not side blade, so I have to assume he hit himself on a blade mill. That's all I can imagine, because he was
Dispersion plus blade mail on a that makes sense.
He was like 40% HP, and I kind of just like, okay, he can't enter the fight. And in my mind, I just isolated him over there.
Yeah.
He's gonna come back and reset. Worry about the PA in 20 seconds. Then, like you said, he's just dead. So
yeah, there was definitely a chunk of damage that I was not expecting, and I wasn't quite sure where it came from. But either way, Vici Gaming walk away with a win in that team fight. And Liquid, you could see they're trying to come up with ways to be able to win these fights as Taiga is going for an Aeon Disc, and he's outside of his base trying to farm it. But Vici Gaming, they're going to let nobody farm the waves here as they've caught Smail. Cold Embrace, but that just sets up for an Ice Blast, and they're terrorized. They're going to throw everything they have because they know how important Smail is. In fact, I'm not even sure if they know he doesn't have buyback or not, but he doesn't.
I definitely think Vici just has Liquid's number this series. The first game, I would say, relatively looked in control of Vici for the majority of it, while this game, Vici had to claw their way back in.
The overwhelming blink, the spear to a tree, and Insania will die. You can see Liquid, like Koi, for example, is just out there trying to push in a side lane as deep as humanly possible. But Vici Gaming, once again, see an opportunity, and they just are going to go for the W here, forcing a buyback out of Insania. They say, okay, that's good enough. We don't need to hit Throne anymore. We'll go for 2 lanes.
Satanic done on PA.
Okay, certainly needs the extra health here. Hiding in the side of the trees here, the side of the map, waiting for somebody on Liquid to create an opportunity for him to follow up.
Chinese respawning.
Taiga almost here. They're going to jump now as Old 11 gets a little deep here. He's going to be called up. Taiga's looking to finish him off. This is going to be the Ice Blast raining in, and Old 11 is still alive. He managed to turn around and get the spear on the Taiga. They throw out the Cold Embrace, but he still dies. Mickey, meanwhile, is being rooted down. Brambles, bashes, I don't know what it was, but either way, he was stuck. He's dead now for 80 seconds, and very likely Vici Gaming just going to end this game.
He tried to hold on to his BKB and then got Willow rooted mid-animation of his blink on PA. And then he tried to pop his BKB last second, and the AA blast had clipped him, so he just died. That's like so unfortunate. It's like if he pops his BKB, I'm pretty sure Vici just reaps the entire base of Liquid. So I understand why he held it, but it just looked, in a pub, your teammates are definitely pinging that cooldown.
Vici Gaming, they've got 45 seconds for both the Winter Wyvern and the Phantom Assassin. So they're going to go for Megas instead of hitting tier 4s, which probably in part is respecting the Leshrac shard, which is super annoying to push into.
Yeah, potential PA buyback even though he bought the Satanic.
Oh, that's true. It's only 1,100 of hold off. All right.
They're just
Nobody's
methodical,
buying back now, so let's go for it.
Yep, no reason to not take your sweet time. You have plenty of tower damage.
Jumping in with that overwhelming blink, slowing everybody down. The Ice Blast's gonna nail the two of them. Yule Scepter gets him up in the air for a moment, but Samael's gonna come right back down and tell on Earth for him. Taiga's gonna be able to get the toss back in onto hold 11. He turns around, full working the fountain. Wow. Says, I'm not making it out of here, but I can at least hold my ground for a while. He eventually falls, and Vici Gaming, focusing on the throne, will end the game. A 2.